This is Kicks Country TV. More from the Kicks Country Video Vault.
Doug, how are you?
Man, you know me. I'm just sitting back here wishing I could drink coffee, but then if I do too much of it, then we'll talk forever.
Well, you know, you can always look forward to one of those energy drinks later, maybe.
I just can't do it because my day is over at 11:30.
Well, let's give you a proper introduction. It's Doug Gray from Marshall Tucker Band. You know the songs, heard it in the love song, Fire on the Mountain, Can't You See, Take the Highway, a whole bunch more. You've been around for just a little while.
I opened the screen door in 1972 and walked in.
I know the real fans of Marshall Tucker know the name of the band's meaning, but a lot of people have not heard that story. It's one of the more interesting band name stories I've ever heard.
Right. A lot of people find it hard to believe, and I do have about 30 stories that I tell. Some of them can be told at different times, but especially of the day or the night. But the real story is back in, we had just got back, Toy and I, from in Vietnam, and had a couple of years of working and playing out in different bands and stuff, and we decided we'd give it a whirl. So we rented a warehouse, the basement of a warehouse, and on the key that was letting us into the warehouse, it said Marshall Tucker. Well, we didn't think anything about it until somebody come through and said, "Man, you guys sound really good. We want you to open for the Allman Brothers." And Jimmy Holloway at Willie Band, we said, "Well, man, we were kind of stunned. We didn't have a name that we were going out as anyway, because we'd already, just about used every name you could possibly use in the whole world." And we looked at the key, and we said, "We'll just call it the Marshall Tucker Band for the weekend."
That is so funny. Just from a key.
Yeah, and he is still alive. He's 90-something years old, lives in Columbia, South Carolina. But what had happened is he is blind, and he repaired pianos downstairs in this warehouse. And he moved to Columbia, South Carolina, and started being the choir director of the church, and just recently retired last year from being the choir director for over 40 years.
Wow, that is really an interesting story. And, of course, you guys pretty much got your start in South Carolina, right?
We did, right here in Spartanburg, but we had been in a group called the Toy Factory, and we've been in a group called the New Generation and the Guildsmen, all the way back, because we'd always been playing music, since I was 11 or 12 years old.
You're going to be in the Sanford, Florida area this coming weekend, the 12th, I think it is.
Right.
And it's part of their Bike Fest. It should be a great time.
It'll be good. Get around with my biker buddies. They're always there to support us. And, this will be, actually, this past year was 37 years straight that I've been to Sturgis myself.
Wow.
So it's pretty hip. It's changed a lot in that amount of time. It's gotten real easy to come and go on a bike. And I have one sitting in my garage right now. I wouldn't let go.
Yeah, boy, I tell you, we're used to seeing a few bikes going up and down 95,
Oh, yeah. Well, there's a reason for that. I will say that as many times as there's been a bike festival down there or during Daytona, we were always there, and then moved over to NASCAR for a couple of years and go right back to bikes. It's always good for us.
Well, Doug, let's talk about Marshall Tucker Band being part of Bike Fest on Friday night. What's the band up to these days, and what can we expect? I know you guys have just recently put out, haven't you, another Greatest Hits?
Well, we put out the Greatest Hits on November of last year, and we decided, after that one done so good, we decided that we would put out one on LP.
So it's on vinyl.
With a digital download card. You go to MarshallTucker.com or go to Sony or whoever, and you can you can get you one of those. And the reason that we did that is because I wanted people... Listen, people were coming up to us and saying, "Man, I got my kids out of the house, and now we're raising grandkids, and everything's cool, and you guys are still rocking, and we're here, and I want you to sign my album from that 70s period." And I went, "Wow, this is good, and it's a good opportunity." So we put that one out, and a little hint for your people. Here's the good part. Since that one went so well, we're re-releasing the first one on LP and the second one on LP.
The guy that invented the LP, the 33 1/3 LP, passed away just the other day.
He sure did.
Yeah.
He sure did. Work with Capitol Records, I think, at the very beginning, and or Columbia, either one. And those kind of things go away. I don't think we'll ever see 8-track again because it kind of didn't make sense.
It was kind of, you could hear 3 songs at once. If you like that.
Yeah. And the real good part is we all had an 8-track, and I just couldn't see it, and you just didn't want to do it, but it didn't last. And if everybody knew who invented it, it was the Lear Company, the people that owned the Learjet Company that invented 8-tracks.
So, Doug, you guys just played the Opry again, didn't you?
For our second time, believe it or not. And I'm still kind of reeling from the first invitation that we got to be at the Ryman. And we got up there and just had such a ball. And people like Little Jimmy Dickens and all these other artists come down and said, man, we just want a picture with you. And I'm going, wait a minute. Something's not right here. These are people, legendary people. And that place is sold out all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And we're out there, and Bill Anderson, it comes out, and he says, I wanted to let you know, guys, on the radio. He says, that pause that you heard with people applauding was a standing ovation given to the first-timer Marshall Tucker Band to ever play here. And I got to tell you, right then, I didn't know what to say.
It's kind of interesting because you guys definitely one of those bands back in the day. People didn't know if you were rock, if you were country, and then they came up with the name Southern Rock, so that's pretty cool.
Hopefully we'll be invited back again, and I can't imagine a better and a happier time, because most people look at that as like it's all country, but there's a lot of musicians that go through there and play with these legendary people that, you don't stick around if you're not legendary.
That's true. Well, Doug, we appreciate it again, man, and we look forward to seeing you here on Friday night in Sanford for Bike Fest.
Okay, thanks, John.